What's up out there? Dave Duford, Final Expense Agent Mentor. How about that? FEAgentmentor.com. We're in a creative the desperation for funny titles, and I couldn't help myself but relive that stupid waste of time on that Dr. Phil show. You should check it out if you haven't. Over to my right, I've got my lucky charm.
Hello, all.
Mr. Steve from Chicago. Steve is on a ride along with me today, and yesterday too. And what we wanted to do in today's video is more or less just kind of give you the first-hand experience of what it's like to do a ride along, and really, I guess your first time in the field, seeing what Final Expense is about. So, what I'd like to do, Steve, if you could kind of give us kind of a rundown of what your experience is like starting yesterday, and kind of take us from the top.
Well, I'd already done research kind of on the field, kind of had an idea maybe what to expect, but I think until you get out there and get in the car and drive to these people and see it, it's a whole different experience. Very informative, absolutely essential. I've learned a ton. Maybe more importantly, help fill in some of the gaps in just maybe confidence about being able to do this moving forward. I mean, I'm certainly, I feel great about the appointments we went on. I feel great about the process. It just kind of reinforced everything that David's already covered in all his videos that we've watched. But yeah, it's been fantastic.
Cool. Yeah, and one thing I always tell everybody is that there's nothing quite like doing an actual ride along, right? Because you can do research, which is very important to find which agency works best for you, which carriers work best, certainly which lead programs work best, but there's absolutely nothing that replaces the experience of getting out in the field and seeing what it's like to deal with the people that buy final expense insurance. So I guess, Mike, here, if you could kind of detail how the day went yesterday. We did 7 appointments. I wrote 4 applications. Tell me what your kind of thoughts were on the people who purchased, and then those that didn't, and kind of tell the audience kind of like what you experienced and kind of what surprised you and what didn't. So yeah, feel free.
I guess the biggest thing in going out yesterday, I think you sold the very first appointment, I want to say, too. So we started the good luck charm talk after that.
That's right.
So right away, I think he sold his very first one. I guess it'd be considered kind of a lay down sale in a sense.
It was.
Nice people, ready to buy. We had, I think he did 4 yesterday. There were at least 2 that didn't buy, and those were pretty straightforward, pretty quick. Didn't spend a lot of time with those people. Tried to kind of eliminate, by asking the right questions from the beginning, able to figure out pretty quickly that they weren't qualified or weren't going to buy.
Right.
Of the ones that did buy, I will say the one of the big takeaways from this is, from my experience of David's videos and being around or listening to him, how he's been is how it is, how he is in the field, and it's been a mirror image. So in being out there, one of the biggest takeaways, like I said, is that his approach to and doing it. I mean, there is certainly selling, but it's in the presentation, in the way it's delivered, in the process. But you're not. There's no hard close. There's no pressure. These people are they're in a position to buy, and he's really kind of guiding them, and asking the right.
We're back now.
But at no point was there any pushing. The people were ready to go. It was, and that's a testament to, I guess, his process too, and how he handles it, and how the objections are already developed right from the beginning. So you're already, once you get past all that, it's kind of, well, the sale's going to come now because you've already gotten past the hurdles, and then it's just kind of, as long as you don't drool on yourself at that point,
right,
and you've gotten them to that step, then.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we try to teach with the sales training model that I teach in the mentorship program is, what we're really trying to do is effectively pre-qualify so we see and deal with the high odds prospects, and then as quickly as possible eliminate the low odds prospects so we can see the good ones like we saw today and the ones that we saw yesterday as well. Was there anything in particular that was surprising about what you saw as far as we did 14 presentations total, wrote eight applications. Is there anything that surprised you didn't expect?
I guess I was one surprise that I was a little shocked at is how, I guess, kind of welcoming the people are to have you in their house.
There you go.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of thought that, from what I've read, that or heard that it might be a little more difficult to get in, but everybody's super welcoming, and he's bringing me along, and I'm not, I'm nobody yet, so. And these people had no issues with me coming in there too and meeting with them, and so I think that was a surprise. That it was very easy to kind of and granted, we weren't even on time for all of our appointments because we overlapped and things, and people were still totally fine seeing us. So, yeah, that. And one other thing I think would be if you, we went into one house that was maybe a little bit of a surprise if you're not kind of ready for it.
Which one was that? The Roach Motel.
No less than 10 roaches.
That's typical.
But past that, no. I wouldn't say there were many major surprises outside.
Yes. I mean, it was pretty straightforward. It wasn't all, rainbows and sunshine. We had people like the very last call we did, they were almost going to buy, but I just couldn't turn them, just kind of on the fence. We had the guy who had to have spent some time in prison.
Oh, yeah.
That was weird. And,
tattoo.
Yeah, the eye tattoo, the teardrop off the eye. That seemed dangerous to me. Anyways, and then we had people, one person no-showed us, so it was a good collection. And the thing I want to do on ride-alongs with new agents is not just show them the good stuff. Really, the best ride-along experience is you want to see the laydowns. You want to see the people who give some kind of resistance so you can, see an example of dealing with objections. And then you want to see the people who are absolute crazies or no-shows or absolute frustrations, because that's really, again, what you will experience selling final expense insurance in the real world. And so on a ride-along, you don't want to sugarcoat it. You want to expose a new guy to the reality of this business, because the truth is, as soon as Steve gets home and start working his leads, he's going to see a lot of all of that. And as anybody in this business knows, this is a emotional roller coaster, and it's good to understand what you have to deal with. It isn't necessarily difficult. It's just you're dealing with people. Got a comment here from Floyd. How you doing, Floyd? He says, like pre-closing the sale on the appointment when you set the phone. I wish it was always pre-closed. Sometimes it's not. But, yeah, I can see what you're saying. If they're always ready to buy like that, it'd be great. But the main thing we try to do is get in the door, set a solid appointment, make sure they're going to be there. I work with an appointment setter that sets my appointments, and the guy is rock solid. One no-show out of 15 is pretty absolutely amazing. So, anyways, Steve, do you have any final thoughts, comments about what you saw today down here in the East Tennessee selling final expense?
I guess my final thing would be, I don't know, if people out there are still considering David's program. I'm probably the perfect example of something like this. I spent a number of months researching companies and made the decision to go with David, and it's been every single thing has been exactly as he stated. There's been no mystery. There's been no BS, which is a big part of it. I feel, at this point, I feel pretty well prepared to at least, start the process. So
Great. Well, thank you so much for that, endearing testimonial. Here's the money. That was all from the heart on the spot, I'm sure. I got a comment here from Angie. 8 appointments. That's awesome. Or 8 apps. Yes, 8 apps. Yes. Wrote 8 apps. It took 15 appointments preset by my appointment setter to get them. It was an exceptional day. 2 days, really. And, but, understand I'm not the kind of person that's going to be like, dude, it's easy. You're going to write 10 grand a week and be home at 3 o'clock every day. I mean, there's been plenty of weeks where I did 15 appointments and ended up with 0 apps, so, that's part of this business. And, this week turned out well. You just have to follow the system, and the system will work. You just got to give it the time to do it. So, other than that, Steve, thanks so much for coming, man. I enjoy ride-alongs. For you agents of mine out there, or if you're associated with the ride-along or mentorship program, ride-alongs are always an option for you to come along and join. It is the primary way to learn how to sell final expense. Nothing beats a ride-along. And all you really need is a day. 2 days is what Steve spent down here, but even if you had a day, I'm sure if you just went home after yesterday, it would still be empowering. It would still be exciting. And Steve would have taken home just as much information experientially to know that final expense is right for him and really how to set himself up to get started. Excuse me. So, my name is Dave Duford, and this is Final Expense Agent Mentor, feagentmentor.com. If you want to learn more about how the mentorship program works, check my website out. It's feagentmentor.com. You can also check out the over close to 300 videos now, all about final expense sales, prospecting, leads, you name it, I got it. Check me out, check us out. And if I can help you, I invite you to come over to feagentmentor.com and drop me a message, and be happy to set a one-on-one consultation with you to talk more about how to join the program. So until next time, Dave Duford, Steve from Chicago.
Good luck, everybody out there.
See you next time. Probably Friday. I got a new agent coming along with me then, and I'm going to bribe him into doing a live stream like I did for Steve. So, all right, y'all take care. Thank you.